So with Borderlands 4 announcing its 4 new Vault Hunters, we don't know their names, we don't know a whole lot about them. Right now, everything is kind of just speculation, but a couple little Easter eggs from former games and little things that we've seen in the trailer are starting to give us some information about who these guys could be. We already talked about in our previous video about the girl on the very far right. We think that she's going to be a Malawan person. If you want to hear about all that theory, check out my video covering that from the other day. But now we're going to be talking about the guy that's on the very far left, and it's mainly because of this exoskeleton that he has on him. Now, before I get into everything involved with this, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. We're trying to juice up our numbers right now. I'd really appreciate your love and support. We're going to be covering a lot of Borderlands 4 when it comes out, so might as well subscribe now while, you know, the iron is hot. Subscribe, leave me a comment down below, something you're interested in seeing, like the video, become a member, and follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Byrdman778. Now, let's jump right into this theory. A lot of people have been kind of judging this guy because of his outfit and how basic it looks, and honestly, I do agree with everybody. I think he probably looks the most boring out of everyone. A lot of people have said about the girl on the very far right, but once I went over that theory that I have, I like her a whole lot more now. But yeah, obviously he looks pretty boring. He's just got kind of like a jacket on. He's just got like what looks like kind of like jeans and stuff like that, but that's not really what we're focused on. We're focused on that exoskeleton that he has on his body. Now, this exoskeleton seems like it's going to be essentially his entire action skill. We can see in the trailer itself that it actually kind of like activates and adds these blades at the ends of his arms, and he gets this really cool visor on his face. Essentially, I think it's just kind of like part of like the armor and everything, but this is going to be, I think, one of his action skills, and I emphasize one of his action skills. Back in Borderlands 3, all the Vault Hunters essentially had multiple action skills, or their one singular action skill had multiple different abilities. But for this guy, I think his exoskeleton is essentially going to be that one action skill with many different abilities. Now, we do see, though, that he clearly seems to be some type of paraplegic in a way. The legs on the bottom of this exoskeleton clearly don't really show his feet. He does not have feet. It is not there, but I think that's going to, you know, possibly emphasize some extra speed and stuff like that. Obviously, if you got robot legs, you were probably gonna end up moving a lot faster, being able to do a lot of different things like that. I emphasize, and I think this guy is going to be kind of like a mixture of ZANE and Zero in a way, not only from just seeing this like blade dance action skill, but also from what that kind of like emphasizes to me from just like the previous games. Now, I mentioned that this is one of his action skills. Why do I mention this is only one of his action skills? Well, it's because of the fact that in the previous Borderlands 3 concept art, we actually get a look at ZANE in one of his old designs. I did not come up with this theory. Shout out to the homie K6 for actually seeing this. Yo, flipping through the Borderlands 3 art book, you see this early concept of ZANE. Seems to have some kind of showed up in the Borderlands 4 byway of the enemies with extra robot arms. Now, he says enemies, and I look at this and I go, oh my gosh, this is literally that Vault Hunter right there with those extra arms. And look, these extra arms are holding extra weapons for him. So there is a really good chance that one of those skill trees that we're gonna have, the capstone, the actual activatable action skill, instead of being those blade barrage arms, will actually give us access to possibly maybe all of our equipable weapons at once. I'm gonna guess it would probably have to all match, or all have to be like pistols, or all have to be SMGs, something that, you know, those small little arms would be able to pick up and use. But just looking at this concept art and then looking at this new Vault Hunter, I think there's a really good shot at this being, again, a new action skill for us to use. So fans should rejoice that the chance of, like, kind of what Joel said right here, extra arms for quad zerking might return. I think there's a really good chance of that happening now. But again, I think that all of these Vault Hunters are going to, again, have those extra action skills, multiple of them based around who they are. Again, the Malawan chick, I said I think she's going to be a lot of like Malawan gadgets and stuff like that. Him, I think it's going to be obviously things based around that exoskeleton, that blade dance, the quad zerking possibly, the siren, obviously pretty much. I mean, there's a lot that could go on there. We have literally no info about her whatsoever. If you've been watching Epic and G's channel, obviously he's been talking a lot about the theories of her being Emily Swan. I could definitely see it, but at the same time, we really have like not a whole lot of info on that yet. And then obviously the big tank guy we saw in the actual trailer his action skill being those 2 elemental axes, but I do suspect that those are going to just be one of a few that he will have access to. But let me know your theories down below in the comments section. What are you interested in when it comes to these new Vault Hunters? Who's looking the best to you? Who is somebody that you would really want to play on day 1 and all that stuff? Again, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. I'm still a sick little boy, and you know what? I'd feel a whole lot better if you subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, again, let me know some down below. Become a member and follow me over on YouTube and Twitter at Byrdman778. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.